loaded sports day ahead. We've got MLB afternoon games going on. So I'm in a slightly different location because even I want to check out the action on TV. We're going to be covering the NBA tonight. We'll cover any NHL games that you may want to cover as well. A lot happening in the sports world. Major news out of the NFL as Stephon Diggs was traded to the Houston Texans. We'll talk a little bit about how that's going to impact our thinking from a fantasy standpoint, as well as from maybe a win total standpoint, as the Bills and Texans are now obviously under the spotlight. Great to see all of you guys with us. I promised you guys that I would be back on TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Make sure that you guys hit that follow button. Make sure you subscribe. No matter the platform that you're watching on, make sure you're a part of this amazing community. I know I've been off the air for a little bit, but I assure you we're cooking up great things for you guys over the course of the next few months, so it's wonderful for you guys to be with us. Cincinnati 1989. Wish the Bengals would sign T. Higgins. I certainly would feel that way if I were you, but the chances that they re-sign him, unlikely. If I were actually a Bengals fan, I'd want them to trade him and get some good draft capital in his place. Let's get going. If you guys, this is how I want to cover some things today. I am going to do our research. We're going to give out picks just like we normally do. If you want to find my picks, DM me on Instagram, ButtFumbleSports. DM me on Instagram if you want to get any of our picks as we put them out on the SHARPZ app, of course. But that said, I also want to take us through the games in the NBA. We have Lakers and Wizards, Trailblazers, Hornets, Thunder, Celtics, Pistons, Hawks, Pacers, Nets, Grizzlies, Bucks, Magic, Pelicans, Raptors, Timberwolves, and Cavaliers and Suns. So a loaded sports day in the NBA side of things for the NHL tonight. We have Devils, Rangers, Lightning, Leafs, Oilers, Stars, Kraken, Kings, and Canucks, Coyotes. Bit of an alliteration fun there. You have Lightning, Leafs, Kraken, Kings, Canucks, Coyotes. So a bit of nice rhyme play there if you're into that. Of course, if you guys want to talk about the college basketball games that we have coming up this weekend, or maybe even tonight's action, Indiana State and Seton Hall, we can obviously dive into that. This is how we're going to cover things. There are going to be certain games that I want to call out, but obviously we're also going to give you the opportunity to make your questions known or make your requests known. If you are watching on TikTok, I'm going to challenge you guys. Throw us a donut. If you throw us a donut, we'll answer your question. If there's a specific game you want to focus on, maybe that way we can get to your specific question out of cutting out of our regular programming. To everyone on YouTube, Twitch, and Kick, fire away. Let's get into some of our research, everybody. Elite Detail, great to see you. Let's look at this Lakers and Wizards game. First one that we're going to look at. You guys know I like to look at the injury report before we get into anything. Lakers are a very heavy favorite in this one, 12.5. Injury report, Anthony Davis, game time decision. LeBron James, game time decision as well. As for the Wizards, Tyus Jones is out. Johnny Davis, game time decision. Marvin Bagley is out. So those are our injury report plays. Let's take a look at what I like to always dive into, which are some of the trends around this game. I want to look at how when the Lakers have faced an opponent with an average winning percentage this year below 500, and the Lakers have been a road favorite, how have they done so far this year? They've gone 7-3 straight up. They've won their last 4 in a row, and they've covered their last 3 in a row. Now I'm going to dial this up a little bit. When the line has been at least 10, thanks so much, Drew. When the line's been double digits, the overs hit twice, the Lakers have won twice. So I'm going to start to hone in on some of the trends that I like. First one that I like, Lakers on the money line and the over. Let's see if we back those up, if those are consistent. When the Wizards face a team with a winning percentage of 500 or better, and they're a home dog, and the line is 10 points or more, they're 2-11 straight up. They have won 2 of their last 3 actually in this situation against the Heat and the Bucks. Interesting there. The over's gone 7-6. Let's take a look at it a little bit more. When the rest for the Lakers is 0 against a Wow, this is good news. Wizards are 0-5 straight up, 1-4 against the spread when they are on 0 days of rest against an opponent with an above 500 winning percentage, and the Wizards are a home dog. Obviously, Lakers on the money line is probably going to be one of our favorite plays tonight. I put that into some parlays, but Lakers on the money line, do like that one. If you guys do have any specific questions you want us to cover and you want me to jump right to your question, throw us a donut. That is the way we're going to actually handle things. That way we can get in some of the player prop bets because we're not going to have enough time for it given all the action. So if you guys want to cut straight to your question, that's going to be the way we go about it. So Lakers on the money line would be the first kind of take on this. As for the over-under, it's set at 235.5. I feel like that's about right, but I feel like it's a little high. Drew just threw us a donut. Drew, what's up? Jordan Poole over on 1.5 blocks, steals for Jordan Poole. All right, let's go to it. I promised I'd do it, so let's go jump over to it really, really quickly. Drew giving us our first donut as I Homer Simpson over here as we pull up player prop bets. First player prop bet we're going to look at is going to be Jordan Poole, and it's going to be blocks and steals. You want blocks plus steals. It's set at 1.5. You're looking at the over. This has only hit in 3 of his last 10 games. It has been a very poor trend. Over his last 20, 8 of his last 20. How's the matchup for shooting guards? It's okay on blocks. I'm not crazy about this overall. It's just not a great bet, Drew. I feel like there are other bets across the sports world that would drive more confidence. If I had to go in any direction, it might be over half a block. Over half a block is coming in at plus 295, just given the return on investment. That feels like a very good play, Drew. So that may be where I'd go. But if you're looking for steals plus blocks, it's okay. I like the head-to-head matchup. It's been a decent trend. I think I like... You could probably talk me into it because it's a plus 105, but I would put maybe just one, half a unit down on it, depending on what your unit amount is. I wouldn't put too much down on it, Drew, but that is what I would say. Appreciate you guys being with us. If you guys want me to tackle one of the questions that you have, throw us a donut if you're watching over on TikTok. That way we can jump right to your question. If you're over on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, you can just write in the comment section and we'll get to your question. We were looking at the Lakers and Wizards game. We like the Lakers on the money line. We were talking a little bit about whether we like the over or the under. Set right now at 235.5. Feels like we're seeing both sides of this could play out. Really a heavy trend towards the under when the Wizards are a home dog against a team with a winning record and they have 0 days of rest. That is when the Wizards have 0 days of rest. Lakers have been better towards the over when they played a sub-500 team, and they've been a road favorite, double digits. So I'm just going to avoid the total in that one. But first thing that we liked overall in tonight's action was Lakers on the money line. If you guys do have a question and you guys want us to jump to it right away, feel free to throw us a donut, and we'll do that. Or if you're watching on YouTube, Twitch, or Kick, make sure you just throw your question in the comment section. One quick note, just ranting about what's going on in the sports world overall. Stephon Diggs being traded from the Bills over to the Houston Texans is a massive move, not just obviously from a football perspective, but from a sports betting perspective and really from a fantasy football standpoint. I know a lot of you guys are big fantasy football fans and obviously fantasy football owners. C.J. Stroud has enormous value, but don't draft him too early. If I think I learned anything from last year's fantasy football drafts, it's that people overvalued quarterbacks who were not running for touchdowns. If you're getting a Josh Allen, a Lamar Jackson last year, maybe a Jalen Hurts, it was worth it. But those who throw for a lot of yards, they're actually only worth maybe a 6th round, 7th round pick. So don't draft a quarterback in the 3rd round, 4th round, even though you may see them come off the board a little early. I certainly would say C.J. Stroud is absolutely going to be a player worth looking at, but I wouldn't want to draft him too early. If you're in an auction draft, make sure you value him appropriately and you don't get caught up in the hype, because he's not going to score as many fantasy points as everyone thinks. That said, that Texans offense is amazing right now. Joe Mixon in the backfield. You obviously have Schultz as the tight end, but the wide receiver core of Stephon Diggs, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, what a trio. Great offensive line in Houston as well. Nick Caserio. If you don't know the name, learn it. Nick Caserio, he was with the Patriots for years, did a brilliant job there. Maybe that's one of the reasons that Bill Belichick's drafts kind of fell off, was Nick Caserio was so fantastic in the front office for the Patriots. He finally went to Houston. For years, by the way, the Patriots wouldn't even allow him to interview with other teams, so clearly they saw the value. He is building a monster in Houston. A lot of reasons to be optimistic if you're a Houston Texans fan. So if you guys want to talk about whatever is going on in the sports world, make sure you throw your comments in the chat. Great to have you guys with us. Jennifer, nice to see you as well. MLB, all of our picks are up on Instagram. You can find all of our picks already up there. Diego, what's good? D'Angelo Russell points. Let's go take a look at that. That's going to be the next thing we talk about. We just talked about the Lakers and the Wizards from a game perspective. Let's take a look at D'Angelo Russell from a player prop bet perspective. And specifically, we're going to look at points. Set at 17.5. The matchup for him, very favorable. Jennifer, thank you so much. Tip of the cap to you. Jennifer, if there's a certain prop you want us to focus on or a certain pick you want us to focus on, write it in the comment section. Thank you so much for the hat and the mustache. I want to make sure I pay that off to you. With that said, D'Angelo Russell has been really strong over the last few weeks. We all know that. He has covered this total of 17.5 in 13 of his last 20 games overall. How about on the road, though? On the road, 12 of his last 20. So it's been pretty consistent there as well. Head-to-head, one time this year against the Wizards, he hit this total, 22 points. Was LeBron James playing in that game? Yes, he was. So, kind of a good thing, because if LeBron James plays, is D'Angelo Russell still going to get the same kind of production? I think so. He's got a really good matchup against the Wizards. It feels like a very strong play. He has cashed this in 6 of his last 8 road games. Really like it. I like it at the 16.5 if you can get it. 17.5, that's fine. But the answer is yes, I would take that play. So shout out to Diego as Beast. Yes, I do like D'Angelo Russell. I do like D'Angelo Russell over on points. Great to have you with us. John, great to see you. Big shout out to John. Hope he's having a great day. If you guys have questions, fire away. Jennifer, let us know if there's a prop that you care about. We're going to go back to going to our game-to-game plays. We will say thank you to people who help us out with our live goal. Drew just helped us out. So, Drew, is there a player prop bet or a game pick you want us to focus on? Write it in the comments section. More than happy to do that over the next, 50 minutes of talking sports. The next game we are going to focus on is Trailblazers Hornets as we wait for Drew to put in his question. Mully, if you want to see any of our game picks, they're over on Instagram. DM me on Instagram if you want all my picks every single day for free. And, of course, you can find them on my Instagram story. Also, hit me up if you ever want to do rival challenges. Love doing rival challenges. I do them every day. You can literally go head-to-head with me. So if you're a regular follower of mine, you love competing against me, or you like taking my advice, but you'd like to have more interaction off the air, hit me up, DM me on Instagram. Rival challenges is something I like to do that allows me to actually compete with you guys every day, have a little bit of back and forth, treating it as if we're in a fantasy league together. I like to do fantasy leagues during the football season, during the baseball season. This is a way that allows me to do it. Okay, Drew is asking about Jason Tatum, rebounds and assists. Let's jump over to that player prop bet right now. Thank you so much, Drew, for the donut. Appreciate that. You're looking at rebounds and assists. Jason Tatum. set at 13.5. You like the over. It opened at 13, went up to 13.5. Injury report on this one. Jaylen Brown is a game-time decision. That's going to play a massive factor for us, Drew. If Jaylen Brown is out, we obviously like we love Jason Tatum to go up. I'm having a bit of a stutter issue here. It's been a pretty good trend when Jaylen Brown has been out. 6 of the last 10 games this is cashed, but maybe not in the last couple. He's been more of a scorer in the last few games. Oh, good news. In home games, though, 4 of his last 5 home games without Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum has gone over 13.5 when it comes to rebounds and assists. Now, if Jaylen Brown does play, that's without Jaylen Brown. If Jaylen Brown is in the lineup tonight, hasn't been as good a trend. Very interesting here. So, Drew, what I would say is we're really watching to see how Jason Tatum, what the injury report's going to be. If I look at the matchup, it's not a very good matchup. The Thunder are actually one of the best defenses in the NBA when it comes to rebounds and assists to small forwards. So I actually like the under, especially if Jaylen Brown plays. So, Drew, this is what I would do. Jaylen Brown out, I would take Jason Tatum over 13. Jaylen Brown in, I would take the under. If you could get it at 14.5 really quick, under 13.5, I'd take it at minus 104. I actually think it's worth the return on the investment. Thank you so much for the donut. Appreciate you supporting the show like you do. If any of you guys have questions of your own that you want us to specifically look at, just hit us up with a donut. That's how we're treating it today, getting some of your questions in. But we are going to prioritize still researching games one by one unless you guys support the show. Just a good way of kind of getting out of our normal tendencies. With that said, we also have our eye on baseball. I do have all of my baseball player prop bets and game picks already up on Instagram. It's in my Instagram story, so you can go check those out. DM me on Instagram, Buttfumble Sports on Instagram, if you ever want to see my picks or obviously follow us off the air. Let's take a look at Trailblazers and Hornets. Now, for this game, interestingly enough, the Hornets are a 1-point favorite. Not exactly a barn burner in this one, but let's see if there's a bet that we like. Trailblazers, when they're facing an opponent with a sub-500 record and they are an away dog, they've been pretty bad. 6 of 12. They've actually been 10 and 8 against the spread, so a better against the spread team than you may think. And then the line, let's say when the line is less than or equal to 3. Wow, they've gone 2 and 3 in this situation. They've actually done a really good job. So keep your eye on the Trailblazers tonight. Let's take a look at how the money's coming down on this game. Right now, Hornets are getting a bit more love when it comes to the spread, so maybe I got to be careful of what I'm saying. Let's take a look now. Let's flip it over. Let's take a look at the Hornets. When the Hornets are a home favorite, and let's say the line is less than -3. Has it not happened so far this year? Oh, no. That's what I'm getting wrong. Okay. So the Hornets lost in their one situation that was similar to this. They're 0-4 against the spread. I kind of like the Trailblazers to cover a spread if you can get it. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Make sure you guys are hitting that follow button. Make sure you are subscribing as we're doing our research for you guys. Ron, what are the Bills going to be without Stephon Diggs? I think they are in a complete rebuild right now. I think there's a lot of issues. I think right now the Bills have a lot of question marks, and they don't have the draft pick compensation that's going to allow them to get right back into the competitive group of 3-4 teams at the top of the AFC. This is a loaded wide receiver draft, but unfortunately, it isn't one of those drafts where the Bills have a lot of draft picks stockpiled, can move up. They're going to have to wait to see who falls to them. I really didn't like the move today, actually. I thought that the Bills kind of grew tired of Stephon Diggs' attitude and his relationship with Josh Allen being less than perfect. But unfortunately, you didn't make a smart strategic move. I think the Texans did a brilliant job. Shad, I completely agree with you. I think the Texans got a ton. I think the Texans are one of the best teams in the NFL. I think the Bills took a massive step back. I really didn't understand it, to be honest with you. Jorge, what's good? Hope Jorge's having a great day. Right now, I really don't like Trailblazers and Hornets. It's a game I'm probably just going to stay away from, so we're going to keep moving on. Let's go look at the injury report for the Thunder and the Celtics. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is out. Jalen Williams is out. We talked about Jaylen Brown, a game-time decision. Let's take a quick look at this game. This should be one in which we really like the Celtics. Obviously, the Thunder played last night. Bad loss to the 76ers. That's a game they should have won. But let's take a look at how the Celtics have done when they have been a home favorite of 10 points against an above 500 team. They have gone 8-1 straight up. I'm going to take the Celtics on the money line. This is an easy one for me. Again, Celtics on the money line. Lakers on the money line. Celtics on the money line. Those are two games that I actually would parlay together. Randy Fitz. Bills cleared a lot of cap space with Diggs. They have a lot of dead cap, so I actually don't understand it. You might have saved future cap, but you have a lot of dead cap now. So actually, it would have been better to just have them on your roster. You also didn't get a draft pick for this draft. It's a 2025 second-round pick. So I don't get what the Bills just did. It feels like the Bills were doing that more as an HR move than as a build the best football team move. I thought it was a massive mistake. They said, we trading Diggs to save our cap space and invest into rookie wide receivers. Nonsense. And if you think they're getting Neighbors, not a chance. They would have to trade up, and I don't think there's going to be a team that has the opportunity to draft Neighbors that's going to give that pick to the Bills. Bills don't have the draft capital. I just don't think people are being realistic about this. I think this was one in which the Buffalo Bills grew tired of the drama that came with Stephon Diggs, and it's a bad football decision. It might have been a good HR decision. It is a bad football decision. That's my reaction to it. If you guys have questions, comments, Diego is Beast is asking about Derek White on assists. We just talked about the Celtics game. So let's take a look at Derek White on assists. Again, I think this is going to probably most likely come down to whether Jaylen Brown plays in this game. But let's look at it from both directions over here. Jennifer, thanks so much for supporting the show. Let's take a look at Derek Brown. Derek White. Derek Brown's the football player. Derek White's the basketball player. And you wanted to look at assists. Thank you so much, JT. So 5.5 assists is the total. Hasn't been a great play over the last couple games. Has missed in 3 games in a row. We're considering him a shooting guard these days. It is a great matchup against shooting guards. OKC 28th in the league against shooting guards when it comes to assists allowed. Point guards, not so much. Shooting guards, yes. So the fact that Drew Holiday is expected to play should actually help with this because Drew Holiday will become the point guard for this. Now, unfortunately, though, Derek White has missed on this assist total in 5 straight games in which Drew Holiday has played. So when Drew Holiday plays, let's see when Jaylen Brown is out. Wow, terrible trend. He has only hit the over in 1 out of his last 8 games in which Drew Holiday has played. Jaylen Brown is not. Now, Jaylen Brown's only questionable, but let's just see if Jaylen Brown's in this game. If Jaylen Brown does play, again, had been a good trend over the past 7, in the last 10 games. First 7, it had hit. Last 3, it hadn't. To me, it's all about Jaylen Brown. If Jaylen Brown is out for this game, I would take the under heavy. If not, I wouldn't take it either way. But the under I like if Jaylen Brown is out. I think that's because Derek White becomes more of a scorer. So that would be my take on that. Appreciate the question. Hope you guys are enjoying the show no matter the platform you're watching on. If you guys do have a specific question you want me to focus on, throw us a donut, hit us up with our live goal, and we'll address your question specifically. Let's go take a look at a couple more games. We're going to take a look really quickly at the Pistons and the Hawks. When the Pistons are playing a sub-500 team and they're an away dog, they're 4-8 straight up, but they have covered 6 straight games under the scenario that they have tonight. Pistons are an 11.5 point underdog tonight, and again, they have covered this spread very consistently. How about when the line is greater than 10? 3-0. I like the Pistons to cover tonight. Give me the Pistons at plus 13.5. Before I say anything else, though, let's take a quick look. I like the Pistons to cover. Let's take a quick look at the injury report. Maybe I'm missing something here. Cade Cunningham, game time decision. Maybe that's enough. Sadiq Bey, obviously out for the season. Trae Young out. If Cade Cunningham is out, maybe that's giving a little extra credence to that. But I like the Pistons at plus 14.5, plus 13.5. I like the cover on that. It's been a very consistent one. Let's jump back to it really quick. Now, again, the trend I'm riding on that is when the Pistons are a road dog of 10 points against a sub-500 team. Let's take a look at the Hawks. When the Hawks are a home favorite against a sub-500 team and the point total is greater than 10 points, they're 2-0. But they're 1-1 against the spread. Hasn't happened often. I like the Pistons to cover. I'm going to ride with the Pistons covering in that game. It's been a good cover as well. Really quick, just when the Hawks have been a home favorite against a sub-500 team overall, they've won 3 straight and covered the last 3 straight. I feel like Hawks on the money line, that's what I would do. Hawks on the money line. If you want to put them into some parlays, go for it. Hawks on the money line. Pistons to cover the 14.5. Appreciate you guys being with us. Hope you guys are enjoying the show. Make sure you guys hit the follow button. Make sure you're subscribing. Make sure you're a member of this amazing community of sports fans that comes together almost every single day. I've been slacking of late, so I got to admit, I got to get back to being on live almost every single day, but we're going to do our best to be live across TikTok, YouTube, Twitch, and Kick. Let's take a look at the Pacers and the Nets really quick. When the Pacers are playing a sub-500 team and they're an away favorite, like they are tonight, actually really struggled to cover the spread when the line has been at least 6. Wow. 3-4 straight up, 3-4 against the spread. The under's gone 1-5-1. Let's see if that under continues to be a good play. Nets, when they play an above 500 team and they are a home dog, 3-15 straight up, 8-10 goes the under. They've actually lost 6 straight games and failed to cover in 5 of the last 6 games against a team with a winning record. I like the Pacers right now based on what I'm seeing, but not enough to immediately jump at it. Let's take a quick look at the injury report to see if there's anything that stands out from that. Miles Turner, game time decision. Cameron Johnson, game time decision. Dennis Smith, game time decision as well. So a couple of names that are questionable tonight. Let's take a look at when the Pacers, the total for tonight's game is 230. When they play an opponent that's a sub-500 record and the total is less than, let's say, 232, they're 5-2 straight up. I think the Pacers on the money line's probably the right play for this one. I don't love it. I'm a little cautious about it, but Pacers on the money line, probably where I'll go for this game. Money's coming down pretty heavy on the Pacers. Not surprised by that in the least. Next game we're going to focus on is Grizzlies and Bucks. Not going to spend a lot of time on this one. Injury report. Giannis game time decision. Patrick Beverley out. Damian Lillard is out. It's just a dog poop of a game. I want nothing to do with it. Just bag it. Throw it away. Want nothing to do with it. Just ugly. Don't know who's necessarily going to play either. Magic and Pelicans. A lot of money coming down on the Pelicans right now. Let's take a quick look at the injury report for this one. Other than the Brandon Ingram injury, nothing really stands out. Let's take a look at how the Magic have done against an above 500 opponent when the Magic have been a road dog. Not great over the course of the season. 6-14 straight up. Right now the spread for this game is 4.5. Let's see when the total is less than 5. When the line's less than 5. They've gone 3-7. They have not been a very good road team under these circumstances. Interesting. The game that they won. Two of the 3 games in which they won and covered under these circumstances, their opponent had a long rest. So that's kind of interesting. Let's take a quick look at the Pelicans' perspective of it. Oh. When the Pelicans are a home favorite against an above 500 team. Man, 7-7 straight up. Not great. Not great. Let's see when the total, or rather when the line has been less than -5 and greater than -3. Do I have that turned around? I think I do. There we go. Pelicans have gone 2-0 straight up and against the spread. Kind of like the Pelicans tonight. Kind of an interesting one there. Injury report doesn't led me to think that way, but the Pelicans on the money line, I feel like that is the play for this evening. So I'd keep my eye on that one. I'll throw that one up here as well. Pelicans on the money line. Just a few more picks that we're going to make for tonight's action. If any of you guys do have questions or comments, you know how to get a hold of us. Diego Cade Cunningham is questionable for tonight's game, so you may not want to bet him, just given that you don't really know his status, and it might obviously play into the number of minutes he'll ultimately be getting. Raptors and Timberwolves. This is going to be a dog poop of a game. Timberwolves. Winning percentage above 500 as a home favorite, but that's not the circumstances tonight. They're a home favorite against a team with a below 500 winning percentage. Timberwolves have really failed to cover the spread of late. Raptors are a bad team. They have a below 400 winning percentage. Man, Timberwolves, though, have really failed to cover the spread. I'm going to make this easy. Timberwolves on the money line. I got the Raptors covering the spread. Give me Raptors at plus 18.5. Raptors plus 18.5. I like that. Money's coming down on the Raptors as well. That's Raptors plus 18.5. Injury report, R.J. Barrett out. Bruce Brown questionable. Mike Conley is out. Jalen Clark is out, obviously. So, yeah, I like Raptors to cover the plus 18.5. K-Star, kind of an interesting take. You're taking him at plus 12. Not terrible. I'm sure you're getting really good return on that investment. So not a terrible idea. We got one more game in the NBA that we're going to be looking at. That's Cavaliers and Suns. When the Suns have faced an opponent with a winning percentage above 600 and the Suns have been a home favorite, they're 3-0 this year. So that certainly bodes well. Let's take a look at the Cavaliers. Cavaliers have been on the road. Road dog against a team with an above 500 record 7-8. How about when that record's above 600? Oh, that's not even the case tonight. Wow. I didn't realize the Suns' winning percentage is crazy. You feel like the Suns should be such a better team, but the injuries really got them this year. Cavaliers and Suns. I like the Suns. Let's see how the Cavaliers have done on a day when they have a rest disadvantage, when they're on the second day of a back-to-back. Wow. Really interesting to see how this played out. They're 9-4. They were fantastic on the second night of a back-to-back. Oh, that's the opponent. Sorry. Look at the wrong thing. That's the Suns' circumstances. Suns have gone just 8-4 against an opponent on the second night of a back-to-back. And when their rest is equal to or greater than 1. Okay, they're 6-2. They're 6-2. It's not bad. What about the Cavaliers? Cavaliers, under their rest circumstances, rest is 0. Their opponent's rest is greater than 1. Cavaliers have been dog poop. I'll take the Suns on the money line. Suns on the money line. Let's take a quick look at the injury report just in case I'm missing something. Cavaliers are getting action on the spread, so keep your eye on the Cavaliers to cover the spread. Grayson Allen, game time decision, but Donovan Mitchell is going to be playing. I do like the Cavaliers. If you can get them at like plus 7.5, I would take that. Cavaliers plus 7.5 would jump on that action. So here are a couple of the NBA picks that I like. Lakers on the money line, Celtics on the money line, Pistons plus 14.5, Hawks on the money line, Pacers on the money line, Pelicans on the money line, Timberwolves on the money line, Raptors plus 18.5, Suns on the money line, and the Cavaliers on the money line. Again, if you want to get my picks every single day, just DM me on Instagram. But Fumble Sports, DM me on Instagram to get my picks every single day. I've actually got to jump off right now because someone's trying to hit me up. So DM me on Instagram if you want to get all of our picks. Look forward to seeing you guys for our next show. Until then, goodbye, everybody. Have a good one.